Hi, my name's Finn Lamborn. I am coming to you from Portland, Oregon, um, near St. John's. Just right over my shoulder is the St. John's Bridge, and I label myself transgender and gender fluid. I have been I took on the name Finn about 2 years ago or so, maybe not quite that far, maybe a year and a half ago. And asked to be called Finn by a trusted friend, and that just kept growing to asking a trusted community, and then telling my family, and then finally posting it on Facebook, and then eventually coming out as preferring the pronoun he versus she. So while I have not transitioned medically, I have started presenting myself in the world as male. Um, and it's a process. Everything is a process in life. This doesn't happen overnight where you suddenly get seen and heard, and that you're even comfortable with it yourself. This is your own process too. Um, I think a lot of people who are trans can probably identify with needing time to adjust to things for themselves. Um, and hearing a different name takes time to adjust to. You're not used to answering to that name, even though it's a name that you choose for one reason or another. Um, but it's still new, and it's odd because people also inflect differently when you ask them to call you a different name. Suddenly their like word patterns are suddenly different. Anyway, interesting linguistic study there. Um, So I have been presenting. I dress masculine. I wear binders every day for the most part. Um, and I am fairly large chested, so it's hard for me to hide my breasts that I have. And my body tends to be fairly curvy. Again, I use a binder, and the binder I use helps to hide the curve in my hips, and then also my larger butt, and makes it look a little more flat. So that helps, but by no means does it get rid of all of the external things that come along that people see to label you female. Um, my haircut, my expressions, my mannerisms, I think, are fairly gender neutral. They're not feminine. They're not really masculine. Maybe they're probably more masculine than others. Um, I say a lot. That's kind of annoying. But more about me. I am 48 years old. I have been married or with someone for 27 years, and we recently split up about 2 years ago. And she is now with a new partner. I have been in the midst of dating during this time, more than probably what I should have been. But hey, whatever. Was in a long-term relationship. Time for me to go out and have some fun, I guess. Um, Not that my relationship wasn't fun, but you know, it's fun to meet new people. And so I have a daughter who's 9. Who's adopted, and I also have 2 older kids who are 31 and almost 29. Long story on that. I'm sure you'll hear more about that later on. Um, but we are a family. We're still a family, even though my partner and I are not together. We still consider ourselves a family. It's important for us. And my transitioning impacts that entire family unit. Not to mention my brother, my sister, my mom, who are my closest living relatives, biological relatives. It impacts them as well, and they have a long history with me. So there's a lot of dynamics that go into transitioning. It's not just about the individual changing their name, changing their body, changing their way of being in the world. It's you. If you're not going to leave where you're at, you've people have to change too, and that's not always easy. People don't always change easily. Um, Even though I may want people to change much faster than what they're comfortable with. For me, I can't force it, and I remind myself about that on a regular basis. So I'm hoping to do this video log to get more perspective for myself, and if it helps others out there who are thinking about this as well, and you want to comment or ask questions about what my process is, and let me ask you questions too, because certainly I have no answers. I only have the answers I think I have found for myself, or the decisions. I wouldn't necessarily call them answers, but I think it's important that stories like mine and others get told. Like I said, I'm 48 years old. I think that based on my experience, it's a rather late age to transition. And I have a family. And I had a pretty darn good career. I'm not currently working, so I'm not transitioning in a job right now. I didn't start asked to be called he until after I left my last job. And it wouldn't have worked. I don't think I could have transitioned there. So I think that was a blessing in disguise, even though it was really hard at the time. And certainly when I go back to work, I will take a pay cut from what I was doing before. But these are important things. Being yourself, learning to express yourself in a way that's comfortable for you, be able to look at yourself in the mirror there, which is what I'm doing right now, and be like, wow, yeah, you're starting to look like you. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you see me as male. Maybe you see me as female. I don't know. I think it just kind of depends on how I smile. More than anything, it's oftentimes your facial expressions that really are the thing. And while I don't plan to study for myself how men act, I may start doing that as part of, I'm starting to take an acting class and figure out how do men act and mimic them and see what the differences are. How do I portray myself versus how they portray themselves? I talk a lot with my hands, and my guess is that's one of the things that men don't do as much. I am pretty confident in speaking, so I don't tend to hesitate and ask for permission to speak. I'm good at just interjecting my opinion, sometimes rather forcefully, which would be a more masculine trait. So there's certainly some things about me that will be difficult to change if I want to present more masculine and be seen more as a man. And there's other things that I feel like I already do fairly well. This will be one of the things I will look at, is do men touch their head as much as I do? I love touching my head. I like my hair. I like playing with my hair. It's soft and it's fuzzy and it feels good. And so I do this a lot. And my guess is men probably don't do that a lot. Not sure why. I'm sure men have great hair, but yeah, I like playing with it. I like touching it. I like rubbing my head. I do this a lot too, because I do actually have whiskers there, and I have quite a mustache there, and no, I'm not on T. But maybe I'll show you some pictures of me when I was trying to grow a mustache, and it was more wispy than what I liked it. So I stopped and cut it off, and now I like the more clean-shaven, boyish look that I have. Yeah. So I hope this is helpful to some of you, and if not, that's cool too. But peace, love, and joy. Be kind to yourself, because you got to do it first. So this is your dream. Make your dream. Make your life your dream. No one else is in control of this dream but you. Thanks.